Movie notes on American Sniper, 2014 film, 7 June 2024 viewing. I viewed this today, Friday, 7 June 2024. And this is the 2014 film American Sniper. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. My description for this viewing is it's a biographical film about the life and death of United States of America Navy sniper Chris Kyle. It is a film adaptation of an autobiography of the same name, American Sniper, by Chris Kyle. And I decided to say life and death because they do more than just like the picture with a caption about death or something. They actually show like the procession, funeral procession or something. So it's like, since there's video footage or coverage or however one wants to phrase it about his death kind of thing, I'm going to say it's about the life and the death. So there we go. I read the book. I had seen this movie a number of times, went and read the autobiography, so returned to this, and I'm kind of happy I did. So I mentioned with my book/reading notes of my May 2024 reading of the book American Sniper, the autobiography, I mentioned that there were disagreements between Chris and his wife Taya. And I didn't remember it being that way in the movie. And in watching the movie, I'll say this. I think the script captures the disagreement between the couple. However, the performance from the actors/actresses perhaps did not as clearly communicate or convey the disagreement as the book did. Like, with the book, it was very clear, and both people were very clear, and then in the movie, I think perhaps, how to frame it nicely, the performance was a bit one note, which might be called monotone. Like, the disagreement didn't come through, because, like, the things they disagreed on were, like, pretty foundational things, and, like, the kind of things that, it's kind of like, soulmates go at each other and tear each other apart, but they can still get through it, versus like the performance in the movie was kind of like, but I don't know if I'm mad, kind of, but it's like, they're actually mad, they're just strong enough of a couple that they can work through that being really mad. So that I thought was a note. Some of the events portrayed in the movie are out of sequence, such as blurred. He was already in the process of joining the Navy at the time of the September 11th terrorist attacks. So they show like people going through rubble, and then he starts recruiting, and then later they show the September 11th attacks and stuff. And I was like, it kind of blurs that chronology, and like it doesn't come across as the most honest thing in the movie. The one that they really took out of sequence was his younger brother was already in the Marines, and he was still working on joining the Navy when the September 11th terrorist attacks happened. And they showed him later in the movie, he's already over in the Middle East, and then his brother is getting deployed. And I was like, hey, the younger brother joined the military first. It's like in typical Hollywood in firstborn, that's what sells, man. Screw reality and chronology. As somebody who's the youngest of the children in my family, I had 2 out of 2. Right, when a younger person does something before the older person, it's really significant. Right, especially if there's a multiple year age gap. Right, that's being very ahead. And so they just kind of dishonored or disrespected the family in that sense in the movie. So little thing, but things that people like me not pick up on, whether they're firstborns or not. It tastes like me is that matters in a family, believe it or not. Maybe they are an only child or something. Or they just don't pay attention. Because I'm gonna guess that only children are not the only children are not the only people who would choose firstborns over reality. And portraying the firstborns as, the best or whatever. In the autobiography, there with contributions from his wife Taya. They made it clear Chris was the consistent initiator in their relationship. So, like, he kind of set the pace and the tone. In the movie, they framed it as a bit more of a mix. So, kind of, he was consistent and persistent in the autobiography with both of their perspectives, and then in the movie they kind of framed him more as a flake in their relationship and stuff. And like, she stepped up where she did not actually step, and so I was just kind of like, you know, some women, they want the man to take the lead, but then they find out that some women actually do take the lead, so they're like, let's just play it both ways in the movie, like that way I can like go back and lie about something now that he's dead anyway. You know, that might be the wife's perspective, like she just go and lie about it and say she did take the initiative because it's a fad now, and there's women who do it who she wants to be like, or she wants to take credit for stuff that she didn't actually do, but it's easy to lie because he's dead. Some women are like that. Yeah. Okay, now these are the more related to me. The best sentence ever written, read out loud, and then the text deleted. My Bradley Cooper is besties with Elon Leonhardi, like Ramiro is besties with Jerome. That's the sentence. Soulmates click workings. Bradley Cooper and Ramiro chosen with 1 data point each. Elon Leonhardi and Jerome chosen with more than 1 data point. If you don't know what that means, that's okay. If you do, A++. Okay. My boyfriend Josh Kerr and I, he provides / specializes in financial support for both of us, and I provide / specialize in safety and security for both of us. Pumice the Gray Squirrel, when we all move into the dream house, she's being, this is her, this is her like speaking to you guys and me and my boyfriend Josh Kerr and stuff in my family. When we all move into the dream house, she will not run away. She says, I will not run away. So if she is gone for a while, we need to come looking for her. She is okay with us posting missing squirrel flyers, and she reminds us to not forget a monetary reward. So missing squirrel. Josh is volunteering for a health screening of my dad. So is Leon Marchand. Okay, they're like, if he needs his skin like that, we volunteer. Okay, we got your family. And so my safety and security to my soulmates affects our squirrel children and bird children, critter children, you know, and we ricochets out to the rest of my family too. And it might not always be me, but you know, me and over my soulmates kind of thing. Picking family stories and background for my autobiography / biographies over similar stories, storylines, and public / copycats. So this is a case of, would I put American Sniper in my autobiography? Probably not. My granddad was a sniper in the United States of America Army. So the stories around that would make my autobiography not necessarily something that is not, like, the role of an American sniper existed before this guy. Like, it was even like born or whatever. Right, and so including my own family. And then if somebody in my family did something and somebody copycats them, well, then I'm gonna put the originator, not the copycat, right? There's a little bit of just a reality check of the copycat isn't the thing. And things can have existed for a long time and get introduced to my life through a certain thing, then it gets introduced there, not in something disconnected from me. Right. So just kind of obvious. And then something, getting back to the couple, Chris and Taya. So they get together in early 20s. He's called out as an old guy in this movie, but it's like, you know, he joins the military, early 20s, and a bunch of people would join the military instead of going to college kind of thing. So for him, he is old, but he's also young, like compared to like the 30 plus, where people get introduced to their soulmates and get together kind of in their 30 years of age or older. He's not that. And they had kids soon to follow. Both my parents and my sister and brother-in-law met in their 20s and married when one of them was 30 years of age. Those two family pairs of mine are then bridge to 30 plus age group at time of physical escalation. Help us / me to figure things out. So I'm 30 plus, and my mom was 30 when she got married, and my brother-in-law was 30 when he got married to my sister. So if you think of, while they're not in the 30 plus for physical escalation, they might be very important for those of us who are 30 plus, that physical escalation, getting stuff figured out and being successful. So there we go. So revisiting the classification, he was in this under 30 years of age category. So, which I thought it was worth pointing out because they did call him old in this movie. when he was going through joining the military. So those are my movie notes on American Sniper 2014 film, 7 June 2024 viewing.